You are now listening to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, episode 190, recorded on April 27th, 2014. Brought to you by Frigid Blast Studios in association with NoobReview.com. Hello and welcome to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, your home for quarter-munching fun. And I'm just sitting here in my mech with my feet tilted up, victorious over my enemies. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
And if you're going to journey into Nyx, I would highly suggest taking something white with you. I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley. And
That sounds so bad in many ways.
What? If you're going to journey
Just keep going, keep going.
There's nothing I'm not Donald Sterling.
That's not what I'm talking. Just keep going. Just keep going. Ignore me. Ignore me.
Okay, we're still traitors to the tabletop cause, even though I kind of play Magic now. But we're going to let you know what's been going on. We just got back from PAX East a little bit ago, which we attended with Scott. Has appeared.
Yes, further to show us Scott, I am here, and I'm not muted. Yay.
I was trying to do the Pokemon reference there, but I guess a wild Scott has appeared.
Oh no! Better get that Pokeball ready. Damn it, where's my quick ball? Catch
am
it
I
before
really
fight.
wild? I'm kind of housebroken, though.
Yeah, at this point. So yes, friend of the show, Scott. How you doing?
Fair and adequate.
Good answer.
So a couple weeks ago was PAX East, and we all kind of all did our separate things there. I went to a lot of panels, and even the day I tried to play games, I went to one panel in between, and that just threw everything off. So my PAX was filled mainly with panels and a little bit of Magic.
Yeah, that's kind of my experience with PAX 2. Although I had probably a lot less panels and a lot more street passing.
Yeah. Did your neck? Did you have to have like a massage or something from your neck being stuck in a downward position for 3 days?
No. But on the second day, I snoozed for about 2 hours in a chair. Yeah.
Joke just went overhead.
No, I know. I'm just ignoring it. Because I'm like that. Just ignore the jokes. Keep moving on. Because there's a lot of things to talk about. But we don't have a ton of time. So
why don't we let our guest explain what he was doing?
I didn't say that. I wasn't saying. Go ahead, Scott.
A lot of Pokemon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, unfortunately, it sounded like the people there needed a little help in organizing.
Yeah, so I did with the PAX Pokemon League. They simulate the gym battles, and then you beat the gym leaders, you beat the Elite Four, or 6 in this case, and then you beat the champion.
Yeah, I heard the champion was a no-show.
Yeah, public speaking is not my thing. I heard he was an enforcer, so he wasn't really around much.
Okay. At least he had a reason. Although if he was an enforcer, maybe he should have said to someone, maybe you should have someone else be the champion.
Yep. And not make me miss the Borderlands panel.
Yeah. Cause damn, I can't believe they gave out the Borderlands the per-sequel for free.
I knew they'd do something, and I screwed up as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was waiting in a line to have autographs from Mass Effect cast, and then I find out that they cost. I was like, okay, I'll still pay, $20 to have Mark Mears sign both of my steelbook cases from Mass Effect 2 and 3. And then it's like, oh, you didn't hear? He won some award in Canada and had to cancel at the last minute.
Oh.
So I waited in a line for over half an hour that barely moved for nothing. And I missed the Gearbox panel as well, which I probably would have went to just because I would have watched, it's like, well, that and Royal Rumble's going on. Royal Rumble I can watch later, but I know Gearbox is going to give something away, because they always give something away, whether it's just food or game stuff or whatever.
Yeah, the theater's too big for them to give away food now, so yeah, they just give away stuff.
It's fine. They give away stuff more than a T-shirt. So
yeah, because last year I got my Borderlands 2 Psycho for free.
Yeah,
I was quite happy about that.
Yeah. So it ended up that you got the free game, and me and Scott did not, and we're still a little jelly about that.
Yeah, if I could have, I would have swung and gotten two extra codes for you guys, but they just gave me one for the row.
Yeah,
because there wasn't a lot of people sitting in the row.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I mean it's just I mean you can't help it. I mean they had that's an 18 that was the main theater, so that's an 1,800 whatever seat theater or 2,000 or whatever. So I can imagine they didn't they didn't want people, because I mean there are I haven't looked lately, but a couple days ago you told me about it, there are people still selling that on eBay, I guess, or were.
Yeah, for fairly low price. If the game is going to be $60, they're selling it for a pretty cheap price.
Yeah, I mean it's just somebody, it's like the freaking League of Legends skins they were selling for $20 and this and that. So whatever, but well.
Yeah, I wound up not selling those and just putting them in myself, so now I own multiple skins and heroes for League of Legends, and I don't know if I'll ever play it. Well, I mean, I might give it a try. There's a lot of other games that I got codes for that I intend to try, at least.
Okay, well, I mean, panel-wise for me, I went to... How many BioWare? I went to 3 BioWare ones, and the BioWare stuff is just so weird because you have to know it's like a secret club, because almost all of them are not on the actual PAX schedule. Like you have to go to the BioWare blog or just happen to walk by their room where they have it posted outside, because they've got a fairly small room, and it's like you got to be in the know. It's like, oh, we don't want the common PAX people here. You gotta be a super fan. You gotta know the know.
I have a feeling it was more because they didn't have an announced game at the time.
No, that's how they always do it.
That had a release date.
That's how they always do it with the BioWare base thing.
Oh, all right.
That's how they've always done it at PAX. It's not on the. I mean, I haven't been in a while, but I've listened to a couple podcasts and stuff, and it's just that's how they do it. They've got a smaller room so that they can have it the whole time, and it's not on the PAX schedule. You have to find it out. So went to a Dragon Age one, got a bunch of stuff signed by the Dragon Age devs. Went to the very last Mass Effect one, got a couple signatures there from art guy and writer and the lead tester for Mass Effect 3. Then I went to a sports video game one. I went to I forgot the Happy Birthday Shepherd one. Went to a sports video game one. Went to see Murdered Soul Suspect. Got a T-shirt, and Square Enix in all their infinite wisdom put all the T-shirts as double XL, because the fat Americans,
yeah,
single XL. No, they must all be 2XL, all 2XL.
Or not large, not mediums or small.
Oh, there was like 100 larges, but by the time I found out that there were larges, which doesn't work for me, but would have worked maybe for some friends of mine that would have wanted
for me. I'd have been okay with that.
You are a friend of his.
I know.
Right, but
I know.
by the time I found out there were larges, those were already traded and with death grips on. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that didn't happen. Then I went to the Game Scoop one. Went to Magic. Although now I kind of wish I hadn't gone. I mean, I had kind of a fun moment with Dave Humphreys after Magic was done, but with Magic, after the panel, like the week after releasing all the info that they gave at the panel, and then also putting it on their YouTube. So, I could have tried to get in line for some more games, had I known that, and I'll know that next time.
Yeah.
And then Giant Bomb was, definitely the highlight of the show.
Oh yeah.
Saturday night. I mean, if
that ending. Whew.
Yeah, leading into the Royal Rumble, which I mean, it's just
That was out of nowhere. I didn't know what the hell was going on at first.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to one panel at PAX and you're just like, I want to play games, I want to go to one late night panel after the show floor has closed, then you go to Giant Bomb and you line up 3 hours early.
Well, you don't have to go 3 hours early.
Okay.
You want to get there at least 2 hours early.
More than if you want
if you want a seat at least somewhere in the middle, you want to get there at least 2 hours early.
Yes, because I got there about 2 hours early for Game Scoop, and I was in the third row. Get there just under 2 hours early for Giant Bomb, and we were in the 15th, 20th, whatever. The last, we were in the back of the first part of the theater.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just how the Giant Bomb panel is.
Yep. Plus, Jason got to ask them a question.
Yeah. And people didn't like that it was an actual discussion question and not a goofy one.
Yeah. And a little bit longer than most of the other questions. They were not happy.
Well, it's not like I was the stupid guy on the Game Scoop panel that literally asked like 5 questions, and Greg Miller and everybody had to like boo him off and get him to stop. I mean,
there was people booing you, but they were mostly near the back.
Well, right, but I mean, this dude was literally like asked like 5 questions, and it was just like, dude, go away.
Yeah.
It caused me not to get to ask the question I was going to ask at Game Scoop, So I asked it at Giant Bomb. So
yeah. All right. Well, we still had fun though.
Scott, any highlights for you outside of getting into the completing your quest for the PAX Pokemon League?
The Cards Against Humanity panel was fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was in line for Game Scoop when you guys went to that.
And then people pitched their ideas for different cards, and then they gave us them the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of missed my chance to get them, and I'm stupid. I should have gotten there at some point over the weekend, but no. Nah, I completely forgot about it. So now I'm sitting here with this little button that says Panel Pack.
Oh well.
That's all I got for my troubles. That's fine. If they don't feel like being nice and giving me a pack of cards that I probably won't use because I don't own any other cards from Cards Against Humanity, that's fine. I can just go play with Scott.
Well, I mean, was it the same thing like with the free one you got with your PAX bag where there was like multiple cards and the only way to get all of them? Okay, they were just it was
just a complete set of this is what was from the 2014 PAX East panel, and that was it.
You should explain the oatmeal cards from Cards Against Humanity.
Oh yeah, oh god, the oatmeal. I'm gonna link to that little that trailer that they put out
for Po-meal.
It's so bad and so good all at the same time.
So in your PAX goodie bag, there was this rather innocuous-looking brown bag of oatmeal that said pone meal on it.
Yeah, the oatmeal for gamers.
And once you open it up, you realize there was some oatmeal in there, but there was also a sealed pack, a small pack of Cards Against Humanity cards. And There were 27 white cards and how many black ones?
I don't know.
I don't know, but the only way, or maybe it was 27 total between the white and black. I don't know. There's on my white cards. There's a number of 27 on them. I don't remember the black ones, but I gave them away to somebody I work with. But I know Scott and tons of other people at PAX were trying to pick up all the packs from people who didn't know what they were, and it was
or knew but didn't care.
right, or yeah. So, Scott, did you end up getting all of them, or?
Yeah, the Cards Against Humanity, they were hanging out in the Kickstarter arcade. So across the way, there was a bunch of people were helping people out that didn't have their cards, and then I got my full set. I think there was 37 of them, and then I just gave my doubles into so that somebody else can get a set.
Cool.
Okay, so it must have been 27 white and 10 black then, because I know the white one said something of 27 on them. So there must have been 27 and 10. So.
Well, there you go. Good on you getting a full set.
Yep.
All right, so
I guess we should talk about some games that we played. I don't think any of us played much on Friday. Most of what we played was all on Saturday, wasn't it, for all three of us?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, because we tried for Evolve in Borderlands, and we were like, yeah, we're not waiting on a 4-hour line.
Yes, good God.
Yeah, because Saturday was kind of a crazy day getting in. They weren't really ready for the bigger crowd from Friday, and we apparently snuck in a back door we weren't supposed to be able to get into Friday.
I don't think it was that we weren't supposed to be able to. It's just I don't think there was a guard posted there to check your bags, so it was not a good idea that the door was open on
it was a good idea
Friday.
For us.
It was really nice for us, yes, because we got in really quick on Friday.
Yeah. But somebody ahead of us, when we were walking into the parking lot, from the parking lot Saturday, tried to go in the same door, and there was a guard there this time, and barked at him, and,
Oh, he was not happy. Are you an exhibitor? No.
Are you
with the press? No. Why are you going in that door? Dude, chill out. Just tell him, I'm sorry, you can't go in there. Just move on. It's not a... Man, that guy was angry.
It comes with the job.
I guess so, because I don't know what was up his butt.
But, I mean, once we got in, Saturday, I mean, the line, literally within a half hour, the line for Evolve was 4 hours long. And pretty much the same for Borderlands. So, we ended up at the indie side of things, and Steven and myself, Scott on 3DS, Steven and myself on, I guess that was the PC version, we all played Shovel Knight.
Was that the Wii U version?
We didn't play it on Wii U.
No, it was only on 3DS and PC at the time.
Okay.
It is, and then Wii U is the third SKU that it's shipping on, and or not shipping retail, but it's going to be out as a download within the next week or two. But those are the three places you can download it, and they just the only ones you could play there that they had at PAX were 3DS and then PC using I think they were using PS4 controllers.
Yeah.
On PC, yeah.
I was so confused by that PS4 controller.
Oh.
Because I rarely use PlayStation controllers, I was lost with that controller. I'm like, okay, what's this do? Okay, that's what that does. Well, that's what that does? All right. Well, now I'm going to fumble around with this controller for a little while.
It's the exact same setup as an Xbox controller. It's just A is X,
right?
X is square, Y is triangle, B is circle.
And in my brain, I cannot reconcile that for whatever reason. Because I don't use it enough.
It's not like Nintendo that flips around Y and X and A and B. Because they've done it the same way since the 90s. And Microsoft changed it. And it became the norm, and Nintendo's like, no. It's not like that.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But
anyway, so Shovel Knight seemed very fun.
Yeah, it seemed like it was really good.
I played the actual hard. They had two levels. Scott, was it the same thing on 3DS? You got to pick the hard level or the easy level?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one did you play?
I played the easy level.
Okay, so I'm the only one that played the hard level.
No, I played that one too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as soon as I saw you play it, I'm like, no, give that one a shot.
Yeah, that one was not. I mean, that one was fairly challenging.
It was no joke. Yeah, it was definitely a challenge. And had I not watched you play it first, I would have been a little lost with those skulls on those platforms that moved up and down.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that at first.
There was one where I didn't realize it was, they had the mechanic where you'd have to kick something off to get it to move because there was too much weight or whatever. So
No, it was the skull. The skull made it move for whatever reason. I don't know why. And you had to throw the skull onto it.
yeah. So, but that was
it
a lot
seems
of fun.
it seems like a really fun platformer.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. That's probably I've got a bunch of money sitting on my Wii U from when Best Buy had it on sale in January. So I've got to buy NES Remix too. I didn't do that yet, and then I'll probably end up having to get a little bit more to pay for Shovel Knight. But I'm definitely gonna get those two on Wii U because I just want to, that's where I've got my money. So
yeah, well, I mean, it goes cross-platform for the money.
Well, to spend, but it's not like the way it should be on Nintendo's. If I buy the Wii U version, I should have the 3DS one as well.
Yes,
this is Nintendo,
I know they're not Sony.
Yeah,
they don't give you cross-platform play stuff, which is really weird because guess what? That would make total sense for something like a game like I don't know. Pokemon, Shovel Knight,
or even Mario 3, which just came out too.
Any game that they have on both would make total sense.
So, Scott, what did you think about it on 3DS?
Oh, I liked it. I mean, I immediately turned off the 3D as I normally do, but then I turned it back on, figuring since I kickstarted it, I might as well see how the 3D is. And then I left it on. I actually like the 3D on. I normally don't use 3D in my games.
Okay. Good to know.
All right, so after that, we started looking around for something else to do while Steven was playing, and we ended up at the booth, kind of next door across from it, and there was this little interesting little, I call it more 16-bit than 8-bit. I think a lot of things that are 16-bit are being called 8-bit nowadays.
Yeah, it's just to explain, hey, it's pixel art in the vein of the 8 and 16-bit eras.
Right, but I mean, this was more 16 than
but
8.
Yeah, it was definitely 16-bit as opposed to 8.
But anyway, so we played in a game that's in development called Faded Haven. And the guy described it as a cross between Zelda and Final Fantasy with, battling and maze exploration. But none of the combat was in his demo at PAX. It was just the maze exploration. And I got fairly far in it. I mean, but then I got stuck at a, like you were having to activate these different nodes to be able to go through this door, and I got through like 2 or 3 of them, and I was just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, it was like a laser puzzle or something.
Yeah.
I was watching YouTube play. I lost interest in that real quick. I'm just like, this does not look well at all.
See, I was frustrated with it, but I was in the good kind of frustrated. Like, I wanted to keep going, but you guys were moving on, so I decided to move on as well.
Yeah. Well, you could have stayed.
Well, I was moving on because I was wanting to go get something to eat because because the magic panel being at 1:30 meant that, well, if I want a good seat, I got to be there at 12:30, so that gives me barely half an hour to go get something to eat at the one food court there. If you want something more than a pretzel and a hot dog, well, there's the one big food court, and it gets filled up really quick at lunchtime.
Yeah, it
So
does.
yeah, when there's 60,000 people there, so
Yeah.
I left to go get something to eat, and then eat it on the way to the Magic panel, and that just threw my schedule completely off because if I wanted to go see something that wasn't if I wanted to go see some games, well, even some of the indie, like I mean, we talked about Borderlands and Evolve having the 4 hour lines and being the longest lines. We'll talk about Magic in a second had a line. Super Giant, the Bastion people, their new game. What's the new one coming out next month?
Transistor.
Thanks, Transistor. That had like a 2 hour line. So some of the indie people had lines. So it's just
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because they're really big from Bastion.
well, right. I mean, I'm just saying that if you go to PAX now, if you want to do anything on the floor, you just have to dedicate the whole day to it. And like, I am not going to touch a panel that starts before 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's just you have to have that mindset, and I know that now. It's been 4 years since I've been to one, and it's just like, look, if you want to go do anything on the show floor, you just have to dedicate a whole day to it. F any other panel, and you just gotta, you take a break to go eat, and that's it.
Yeah. Yep, that's about it. Yeah.
So
because otherwise you're not going to get much done.
Yeah. So while I was at Magic panel,
or you can just run the indies at the show floor, which usually you only have to wait like 4 or 5 minutes to get in a game. And there's a lot of indies.
Yeah, I wish I'd gotten to play some of those other than the two we did.
I probably should have played way more of the indie games than I actually wound up playing.
But while I was at the Magic panel and lunch, and I guess you guys ate, and then while I was at Magic, you ended up doing what I did after Magic, and we all went through the line, the hour wait for Magic 2015.
Wow. That was a really terrible demo because you got like what, maybe like 8-9 minutes to try one game. And that was it. Because you only had one deck.
Yep.
It was a really bad demo experience.
Yeah.
To try and play a card game that takes at least 15 minutes to complete a match in about 8 or 9 minutes. Yeah.
And they also didn't feature any of the new features, so
yeah,
they didn't mention anything
other than the foiled we got. It wasn't really worth. And the
pin
and the Garuk picture.
Oh yeah, and the picture, which I never went back and got.
Well, it says it posted to my Twitter, but I could never. I never.
No, they were having a problem.
I know they fixed it when I went through. They had just gotten it fixed, and I authorized everything, and I clicked and signed into Twitter, and it said it sent, but I never got it.
Yeah, weird.
It was supposedly fixed when I went through because I was literally like the second person that came through after they said it was fixed.
Yeah. It was their booth was better last year when they had the Chandra booth.
Yeah, the hidden secret to that, to Magic, and you could have played it as long as you wanted, was there was a charging lounge right outside one of the entrances, right across from the charity pachinko machines. And that was sponsored by Wizards, and you could go up and they had it on a laptop and you could play the game as long as you want, as long as nobody else was waiting. And because it was a charging station, most everybody was focused on just sitting down and relaxing or charging their various phones and 3DSs or Vitas. I mean, there were a few Vitas around, myself included. But anyway, so I mean, most people that were there just focused on that, so you could sit down there and literally play a whole match. So that was kind of the hidden secret of that. And had I known about it, before the booth, because they closed that station. I mean, the charging outlets were still there, but they packed up at 6 o'clock. I mean, I got there a little before 6, and they were, somebody was demoing, and I was concentrated because my phone was dead. So by the time I got my phone charged a little bit, it was like, well, 6 o'clock, they were packing up, and I was like, oh. So That's the secret. That was the secret to play. Actually, get to sit down with them. I mean, the big thing for me was seeing. I mean, we saw. So we're they're still way behind on cards. I'm still betting we never see the Planeswalker mechanic, which aggravates me.
Well, you have to realize they look at it as an entry, as a gateway to getting people to play the card game.
I understand that.
So they don't want to complicate it with something like Planeswalkers. But if they actually decide to put those in, that would be okay.
Yeah, because I understand it's a gateway. That's why when the people have been like, oh, we can't customize our decks, blah, 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 I've been right there saying this is a gateway thing. This isn't, meant to be Magic Online. But the problem is, if it's going to be a gateway, you need the mechanics of the game, which means you need the Planeswalker mechanic for somebody not to go to Friday night and be like, okay, I spend 6 on Elspeth, 4 on Jay. What is that? I mean, as much as it gets annoying in the Yu-Gi-Oh game, we'll talk about in a bit, having to, cancel through a bunch of optional, do you want to use this now? Do you want to use this now? I mean, that is the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! You are going through every mechanic that is available in Yu-Gi-Oh! So you will not go to Yu-Gi-Oh! And not know what a Synchro Summon or an XYZ Summon is.
Yeah,
you
that's true.
Have that in the game, whereas on Magic, and in the direct opposite with Magic, if you go play real life Magic, the first time somebody drops a Planeswalker, then your mind's just going to blow.
Yeah, because I had no idea how that worked when you played it against me that night when we decided to play a few rounds.
Yeah, I had the dual decks.
You had to explain it to me.
Yeah,
because I was like, okay, got no clue.
And Vraska did her job.
And I think it was more the fact that I wasn't really figuring out how to take her out properly.
Well, to be fair, if you play in Constructed, a lot of times you just have kill Planeswalker cards, or you have creatures with flying. Vraska's really mean, but she doesn't get played that often, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that was kind of the hidden thing with Magic, and then I was separated from you guys, so I mean, I'll talk about I ended the day at the Xbox booth, the Xbox One booth, because that had the shortest lines, and it was like 4:00. So, do you guys want to talk about anything before I finish up the 2 games that I played at Xbox?
What did we do after Magic? Because I don't remember. Did we go get lunch?
I just ate candy bars all day, so I
don't remember what we did immediately after that.
I don't know. You've got Orcs Must Die Unchained here, and Chasm, and A Hat in Time, Brawlhalla.
Yeah, what game do you want to talk about first?
Well, we can go with Brawlhalla.
Okay. Yeah, we wandered over to one of the indie booths, and we saw this game that looked suspiciously like Smash Brothers, and you decided to try it out. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot too.
Because they were like, oh my god, please, somebody play our game, please. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they were really desperate to have people
please
play.
Don't leave, we'll give you stickers.
Yeah, with the beta codes on the back.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta redeem that beta code.
Like Steven said, it was a 2D 4-player in the vein of Smash Brothers.
Yeah. It was a little more zoomed out, though. It didn't quite zoom in as much as Smash Brothers did. Although that might have just been because it was 4 people on the same screen.
I think they said it's going to be free to play, and it's still in beta.
Yeah. There was a lot of interesting weapons that they had. A couple of bombs that functioned the same way that Smash Brothers bombs do. But then they had the drill staff and the guns and a couple other items that were a little unique. There were some of them were a little overpowered, and we kind of mentioned that when we got done playing. So hopefully,
because we spoke to one of the developers, and he was like, "Oh, ecstatic." Steven thought that the
Yeah.
guns weren't very effective. The light attack had a very low range, but the heavy
Yeah.
you would like stun. You would like not stun yourself, but you would like be wide. You'd be open for a second and then have a wide range. And the drill was kind of overpowered. If you
Oh
hit
yeah.
up on the heavy attack, you would do like kind of like an uppercut, which would bring you up a bit. And if you hit
Yeah.
down on the light attack, you could glide a little bit and keep doing this to get yourself back on the platform.
Yeah. It was you could basically come back from completely off screen.
So I wasn't cheating.
No, you weren't. It's just it was a little overpowered. That's all. As long as they put in like a cooldown rate for that, then I think it'll be more balanced. But yeah, it had fun with it. It was very fun. It was in the vein of the Norse gods, as the name should suggest. If my tongue would stop being tied. There was a Valkyrie thing that you could summon, although I never really got it to hit very much, and it didn't seem to do too much damage. But yeah, it was pretty fun. Had a lot of fun with that one. Definitely going to check out that beta. Let's see. How about you tell us about Orcs Must Die Unchained?
Yeah, I played that Sunday right when they made the announcement that we're closing in 5 minutes, and I just ran to whatever I could find. It's I guess the third game in the Orcs Must Die series.
I think so.
It's like the first game was single player, then they did co-op, and now it's a 4 or 5 player MOBA now.
Really? Huh.
I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, so they just gave me the Bruiser, and they were just like, do this, and it was fun.
Okay.
And I think you could still sign up for the beta at their website, and that was fun.
Okay. All right. How about we talk about some Hat in Time? Because you and I played this one together.
Okay. Another game that I kickstarted. What would you say? It's in the vein of like Mario 64.
At least in appearance, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3D platformer. The level that we got to play, because they were demoing 2, we played
Yeah.
in co-op. It was like we had to run away from the ghost, I think.
Yeah, some like super powerful guy who just would stop you in one hit.
And the other level they demoed, people could use, I think, like an umbrella attack. This all we could do was like hide under beds and stuff.
Yeah.
You left
I
me,
screwed up a few times.
you left me to get caught by the ghost.
I'm sorry, but I got you immediately after he got you.
Yeah,
Brought you back to life.
just kept avoiding the ghost by hiding under things, and then you would find keys to unlock. But then our time ran out, and we had to move along.
Yeah, but it seemed interesting. I'll definitely give it another shot. What else?
The only other game I played was Chasm. It's another Kickstarter game. It's a 2D platformer in the style like Metroidvania, and it was super hard and it was fun. I didn't last very long. It last like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. There was one game that I played that I don't think either of you did. Gallic Z, The Dimension. It's from 17-Bit Studios, the same studio that brought you Skulls of the Shogun, which was a rather fun game when I played the demo. This time it's a space side-scrolling. It's a side-scrolling space shooter. You're piloting a ship. You have momentum to worry about. It's very physics-based. So there's a lot of weight between what happens and what you do. It's very 80s and 90s sci-fi cartoon styled. It's really, really hyper stylized like that. It made me definitely think of like Voltron from back in the 80s and 90s, and things like Robotech. Kind of like that kind of art style and vein and sound design, actually, too. They had one level that they were showing off. You could actually select from any of the 3 difficulty levels that you could eventually use in the final game. So you could go the normal difficulty, the hard difficulty, or the insane difficulty. Which I decided, yeah, I've seen this game once before. I'll try the hard difficulty. It may have been the poor choice because I didn't last very long. Yeah, especially when I wasn't quite 100% sure how to control the ship at first. Yeah, it might have been a better idea to go on normal difficulty. Oh, hubris. Huh. I think that was about it. Cause yeah, other than that game, all I did was Street Pass.
Yeah, you did.
900 and something plus times.
Like when the times on Saturday when I was kind of, lean the direction, I kept looking back because I figured, well, if I take a sharp turn somewhere or if I get cut off or something, Steven's not going to see because he's got his head
I
buried.
was paying enough attention to that, at least. When we were moving, I was paying enough attention to what we were doing. It's just on Friday, I didn't do anything else other than Street Pass the entire time.
It was like you were introduced to something brand new and
I had to complete those puzzles. I was so close to finishing every one of those puzzles that was out by then. I completed like all but 5 of the puzzles or 6 of the puzzles out of all of the ones that were released up to then. I had never gotten more than like 1 or 2 pieces in any of the puzzles until that weekend, where I finished nearly every single puzzle, and I got all the rare pieces for every one of those puzzles. So I was no longer in need of those rare pink puzzles pieces.
All right, so to end the show for me, I went to the Xbox One booth and I got to play some Titanfall, and that was actually the first time I'd ever played Titanfall because I had picked up my 360 copy before leaving for PAX, but hadn't had a chance to play it yet. So that was my first introduction to Titanfall, and of course I play right after somebody that uses inverted sticks.
Oh, damn. That's the worst.
It took me like a minute to figure out how to uninvert the sticks, but once I did, I recovered, and I was the third leading scorer on the team in our match, and I was just a couple points away from second. So,
good job.
I thought that wasn't too terribly bad. First time picking it up.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, it's very good.
Yep.
Very good.
So, and then after that, I got into a line that I thought was for Killer Instinct, and wasted a half hour, and was like, no, this is the line for Plants vs. Zombies. Killer Instinct's over here. So I was like, okay. And on Saturday, there was no line. So I was able to play a couple of matches before, it was like, well, after I played a couple matches, a line had started for me, and it was like, well, I probably better go get something to eat because I'm going to have to get in line for Giant Bomb here. So,
yeah.
And try to catch up with you guys, and because catch up with Steven at least. So yeah, and that was an adventure because I had eaten, taken my time, and then went up there and got in the line that I thought was the pre-line for. It ended up there were 2 pre-lines for the PAX for the Giant Bomb panel, and then like the enforcers were just not ready because they're like, no, you need to go over here. And they send us walking through, and the enforcer's like, excuse me, what are you doing? Like, we're being lined up for Giant Bomb. Who sent you? One of the enforcers back there. All right, you all just need to stop right here. You just form up right here. So it's like, okay. And we were all crowded around the escalators, and some enforcer comes up from the showroom level, and it just goes ballistic that we're all, standing in front of the escalators, and then they move us into a snaking line, and then at one point it's like, no, you stay away, you stay outside of the red line by the windows. It's like, okay. And then like 20 minutes later, they're like, no, all the way to the windows.
It was a little chaotic, to say the least.
Yeah. Because you got there right after they moved us away from the escalators.
Yeah. Which was probably a couple minutes after you got in line, I guess.
Oh, it'd been a while. No, it was much longer. No,
It was a while?
yeah,
Oh, all right.
it had been a good, 10 to 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, Scott, you played something else while we were thinking about getting in line for Giant Bomb?
Yeah, I played Kiro Blaster. It's by the developers who did Cave Story, and it's like an old Atari um, like NES platformer game where like the controls were really stiff, and it was like a platformer shooter.
Huh.
I guess a mild retro gamer, I found it fun. I don't know how it's gonna go over with today's group. And then I played Hamster Drop. It was like an iOS game. I think it's like $1 or something. It feels like, do you remember the old Game and Watch games where like things are like coming off of a like something's jumping off like a building and you got your two Mr. Game and Watch. Another one has like the trampoline and you have to like
Catch
catch
them
them while
before
they
they
drop.
hit.
It's pretty much the
Yeah.
same thing except some evil guy dropped cute hamsters and you have to catch all the hamsters and then dodge the bombs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's about as basic as you can get.
The artwork was super cute.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right. So that was something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's about it for Pat. I mean, I really enjoyed
Yeah.
my time. I mean, I learned my lesson to try to figure out one day, if not going to any panel at all that that takes place between 10 and 6. That
Yeah.
one magic panel just screwed me up for the whole day. But I mean, I really enjoyed myself. All the panels, it kind of recharged me because I mean, I hadn't been around. I mean, Scott and Steven and the ragtag cags, but that's all over voice, either Xbox or Skype or what have you. But just being around gamers in person, that even if they like sports games or even if they like type, it's just like, it's not like they're Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, all that exists. If it's not on a disc, it doesn't exist. That mindset that's here in the Midwest, just being away from that and just,
Yeah.
and it was very recharging for me. And I greatly, greatly enjoyed getting recharged and, seeing other people and the shocked look of horror on faces when I relayed some stories I had overheard, and just like
Mhm.
just getting the batteries recharged was definitely the awesome thing for me. I don't know about you guys, but
It was still fun. Yeah. I mean, because it had been a year since I'd been at the convention center.
it
So,
had been 4 years for me since I'd been to a PAX. So
yeah. This was the first time you were in that convention center.
yeah, period. Yeah. But I mean, this is 4 years since I'd been to a PAX or any type of convention. I haven't been to a Gen
Yeah.
Con or anything, in 4 years. So,
It
some
was
magic
fun.
tournaments here and there, but that was about it. So,
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was
yeah.
fun.
Almost had
I
an
mean-
eventful time home, but lucked out.
What does
for
that
me.
mean?
On the flight that was coming in, that was landing to take me from Boston to Chicago, there was like a half hour, 45-minute delay in leaving because someone on that flight had gotten sick and they had to go in with the paramedics and everything. And we left like a half hour, 45 minutes late, which put me running through O'Hare like a crazy man trying to make sure I
Your
didn't
connection.
miss the connection from Chicago to St. Louis. So
Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit more
Oh,
eventful
jeez.
than I wanted on the way there, but
Yeah.
I guess we should maybe talk about now we've got PAX out of the way.
Well, we could traitor ourselves from the video game cause and talk about some of the card games we played while we were there.
Well, okay. I mean, we
Just
played.
briefly.
Yeah, I mean, we played. There was a Magic tournament that we kind of plotted around, and
Yeah.
apparently the first prize wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But anyway, so it was a sealed tournament where it was one pack of every current standard set, which meant the whole Return to Ravnica block, Magic 2014, plus the two Theros and Born of the Gods, 6 packs, and Yeah, I didn't pull, that much good stuff. I put together what I could, and I finished, with a win, with a loss and a draw, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done here
Mm.
because it was only going to be like 4 or 5 rounds or whatever. I mean, and only top 8 got prizes, so it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm just going to cut my losses here and go. Oh, excuse me, go to the Mass Effect panel. So
Yeah.
you stayed, I think, for all 4 or 5
Yeah. You
rounds.
stayed for every round, which, in retrospect, was kind of foolish because I was soundly trounced in nearly every single one of my rounds. Mostly because I didn't quite build the deck the way I should have.
Yeah, and I just didn't get a chance to sit down with you because, like, I was like the last match of round 1 getting over, and then round
Yeah.
2, I ended up leaving after that. And you were still playing.
Mm-hmm.
I probably had enough time to where I could have waited to that round was over, and then, but
Yeah, I wound up getting a lot of like life gain cards and stall cards, basically.
yeah, and typically in sealed or draft 1, that's not what you want to
Yeah,
base around.
it was what I had, and it worked. All those cards were working fairly well. It's just
But yeah, but
most of the
if you
time,
don't have some
yeah,
really big drop, that's fine if you're building up to some really nasty 6, 7 cost cards. But
yeah,
if
yeah. I
you're
just
not
didn't have
building to
anything.
that, you're just kind of delaying the inevitable until your opponent builds to that and
Yeah, yeah,
smashes, which it sounds like is what
yeah. It's
happened.
just it wound up that I just seemingly could not get enough monsters out on the field. Just how it rolled for me. So yeah, you live and learn.
Well, the direct opposite for me happened at the pre-releases because that just happened. So, I mean, that all just happened. So I went
Mm-hmm.
7-1 across 2 different pre-releases at 2 different stores and won 16 bonus packs this
That's
weekend.
really
So,
good. That's really good.
yep, I went 4-0 Friday night and 3-1 Saturday afternoon. So I cannot complain. I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
the store I went to Friday night had a lot of newer players, and given that 2 of the more experienced ones were running the store, I was one of the most experienced players there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think arguably if you looked at the crowd, I mean, who was there, because one guy had been in the hospital recently, one of the older players that goes there quite a bit, and a couple other people weren't there for various reasons. So I'm not being trying not to sound mean here, but I was the most experienced player there. I think I was the best Magic player there, and I did what I probably should have, and I 4-0'd that thing.
Yeah.
And I got a decent pull. I mean,
Yeah.
from looking, I think that white has been a strong color in the Theros block, and I mean it's too late now because pre-releases are done, but I think white is the strongest color in Journey into Nyx, depending on what you pull. I mean, green, it basically, I mean, and I have a disposition against blue, but I mean any combination of green, black, and white, or white, black, and green, I think is something to go for when you're doing any type of draft or anything with this Theros block. I mean, you can
Yeah.
go blue. I suck at blue, so
Well, blue is a weird color for that game. It's all about the tricks, and a lot of times those tricks just aren't enough.
they're enough in the hands of expert players or higher level players, and I'm
Well, yeah, if they're mixed with other colors, yes.
yeah. But I've never done super well. I mean, I have won a draft with white blue before, but that was with getting a Sphinx's Revelation and like a couple other pretty bomb limited cards and winning
Yeah.
at Bodox once. But I generally go if I can get white X with Theros block, I usually feel pretty good. And I got really good white black and a pretty decent white green between the two pre-releases, and I am happy with the results. I will take 16 free packs.
I think anyone would.
Yep.
But that's just my opinion. Me and my craziness.
Yeah.
We also played a little bit of Versus when we were at the hotel for PAX.
Yeah, and that was humbling because Versus, once again, you make one mistake in that game, and that's what ends up costing you the match. I made one mistake with you on turn 6, and because you had telegraphed something you had, and I was saving my one card to counter that for that card, and had I just used it to counter some other effect, I don't know if I would have won, but I would have.
You would have forced my hand on a different card that I was holding on to, but I think I still had you just because I had so much damage in the early game.
Yeah, I didn't hit 2, which hurt. I didn't get a 2 drop. I mean, I went 3 through 7, but I didn't hit 2 because the opening hand had Invisible Woman, and in Versus, I mean, even though you're drawing 2 cards a hand, I mean, it's not like Magic where you're like, okay, do I have the lands? Do I have the low-cost spells to play? You know, in Versus, you literally have a character generally as a mulligan condition, and for Family of 4 is the 3-cost Invisible Woman. Like, that is the mulligan condition. You either have to have her, or you have to have a way to get her.
Yeah.
I mean, if you draw 4 cards and she's not there and you have no way to get her, that's an auto mulligan. Doesn't matter if you're 4 through 6. Nope.
Yeah, for whatever reason, my hand was so flush with search cards, I was just like, yeah, I should probably keep this.
Yeah.
And I was searching out cards left and right for my mid to late game.
Yeah, not having 2 lets you just attack straight through on 2 and 3. And, you know, even if I had Human Torch 2 out there, I mean, you want Luke Cage out there, but even if I had Human Torch 2, I mean, it just would have been, because Luke Cage 2 gets to do the interesting thing where, oh, well, I'll ditch this card, and, you know, on turn 2, and it's like, you going to send Captain America in and let me draw 2 cards, or are you just going to sit there?
Yeah.
So you get to play some mind games with Luke Cage there, and that might have saved a little bit of damage, but...
Yeah, maybe.
But it was fun. I hadn't played Versus in about a year since Cheetor Lives had moved out to California. He's back in Chicago now, so I hadn't played any Versus in about a year. And at least we played one game of it, even though, I mean, had to be stopped at TSA and have them search had him to go through the cards, and carried all 7 of those Versus decks for. At least we played one game with them this time. I mean, I probably should take fewer decks, but I was like, well, I'll take...
Probably. I mean, I don't think you needed all the decks that you took with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I cut it down from 9 to 7, but...
I think you probably could have done okay with about 3 or 4.
Yeah, I know. I just figured that if Scott wanted to play, or if you wanted to play, and you would only have the one deck, I would have other decks, you know...
Well, because it had been so long, I was like, I'm just going to play with this one, because I remember at least 90% of what this deck does. Which apparently was enough.
All right. Scott, why don't you, as the thunderstorms get ready to kick in here, I'll try to fix some of this, but Scott, I've yet to play the wonderment that is Hearthstone, and you
we're
had...
not going to talk about Cards Against Humanity we played.
Time.
He's just can't wait to talk about his victory.
Wait, I won that?
Oops.
No, Mr. Bossman over there.
Oh yeah, right. Well, you guys start that and let me take care of this window here.
I forgot. I literally forgot that I was the winner of that. Yeah, so we, all 3 of us decided to sit down and play Cards Against Humanity on, what was it, Sunday, I think?
Because I've been bugging you all weekend.
Yeah. So we got in at least one game of that. And as having played that for the very first time, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's entirely comedy based, that makes it extremely appealing to me. But why don't you explain a little bit about the game?
It's kind of similar in the vein of Apples to Apples. It is your what do you call them? Like explaining stuff is not also my forte.
Oh, white cards, black
Yeah, you have your
cards,
your white cards are your like your noun, and then like your black card is you,
like a Mad Libs kind of thing. It's like a fill in the blank Mad Libs kind of game.
that's superly offensive.
Yeah, yeah. You can have completely random things.
Hence the name.
Yes. And yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one. A lot of interesting combinations.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering there if I was ever going to. I mean, I made somewhat of a comeback.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, like I said, it's all about the comedy, and if you get the right combo of cards going, it's pretty funny. So
Yeah, although
had some fun with that.
I would say 3 people is the lowest amount that you can do it with. You need,
Probably, yeah. It wouldn't work with 2 people, obviously.
yeah, and you need more than 3 really, but since all we
Yeah.
had was 3.
Yeah. Minimum, you probably want to have 4 people,
Yeah.
just so that there's 3 things to choose from instead of just 2 for the judge.
And Hitman has no points.
All right, so now why don't we talk about video games and all the stuff that we have been playing and are now playing? All right, so Scott, why don't you start us off with your brand new obsession that you've been playing recently?
Well, thanks to Hitman. I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone. I mean, I played it last year at PAX, got in the beta, and then never touched it again. Up until last week when Jay mentioned it, I started playing it. It's kind of like the World of Warcraft trading card game. It feels very similar to it. It's free to play, which is always good. You
Yeah.
can buy cards, but currently I haven't felt it necessary to do so.
Yeah, I've heard you can get through it without having to buy anything.
Which I will try, because I'm not giving it money. They have you have 9 different characters. Each of the different 9, I think there's 9 classes in World of Warcraft.
I think so.
And their decks go similar to that. You have your mage, your priest, was it warlock?
Rogue.
I haven't played WoW in years.
Yeah,
Warrior.
but it's the standard classes, basically.
Yeah, you pick your character, and your character, depending on, they each have an ability, and depending on which character you pick is which ability. So if you pick the priest every turn for 2 mana, I forget their money source, but we'll call it mana. You can use it. You can heal. So should probably explain the game. So
Yeah.
when you start off each turn, sorry, brain fart. Again, public speaking.
I know, it's all right.
You get 1 mana each
Right.
turn. It's an automatic thing. It's not like Magic or WoW or even Versus where you had to physically generate that mana somehow. It's an automatic thing, and it increases by 1 each turn.
Up to 10.
Yeah, it caps at 10.
Okay.
You have both heroes started, and I've just watched Patrick Klepek's stream of it from last week, which what got me interested in. You have the 2 heroes starting at 30 life. Much like WoW game, you can cast minions or whatever they're called. I mean, creatures, what have you, depending on what cards are in your hand. And after a turn of summoning sickness, unless they have the ability to attack immediately, which is a key word that I forget what it is offhand, when the creatures attack, you have to choose whether or not you want to attack the hero directly or attack one of the other minions there is a taunt ability that some of the minions have that makes you attack them first.
Yeah.
And so the game goes until one hero is out of life. And when they declare an attack, it's not like in it's not like in verses where you say, okay, this creature's going to attack this creature. Well, I mean, it's not like in Magic is what I should say when it's like, okay, well, I'm declaring these characters attacking, and then you choose whether to block or not. And it's just like this character is going to attack your hero, and there's nothing you can do to stop it unless you have one of the minions that has the taunt ability.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a balance of having the creatures out that either taunt to direct damage to them, or you can't just go like no creature. I guess you could. I haven't seen it yet. I guess you could go with like all direct, some type of burn strategy, but then you're going to need cards that auto burn the whole field or something, because if you just let somebody pile up a bunch of minions, they're just going to come and smack you in the face.
Yeah.
So it's finding the right balance of direct damage cards plus minions to be able to build a successful deck.
Okay.
And there is a casual mode, and then there's an arena mode, and I think it's the arena mode where you earn the gold to buy cards, or you pay money to get gold to buy the cards. And then I guess in the casual mode, I mean, you have to play enough to unlock the various decks of all the classes, and you get a couple of cards, I think, each time. But the arena mode is where like the hardcore stuff is.
Yeah.
And where you'll run into the people that are paying money for cards.
Yeah.
I'm still at the fight the computer part. I haven't got my nerve to fight anybody online yet.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is a casual mode even in that, so you don't have to go into the super hardcore pool. They do give you a smaller pool to wait around in first before you go to the super competitive, which is of course is a lesson learned from Versus that
yeah.
Where it's like, okay, it's time for you to sink or swim.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we're gonna just put this game out. No, $1 million tournament circuit. Well, you don't have most people playing this game yet, so it might have been a mistake.
Your first tournament being your first pro circuit stop being
Indy, I think.
Well, right, Indy, but I'm trying to remember if the game came out in February or March. But anyway, literally about 4 to 5 months after the game came out was the first pro circuit stop. So yeah, it came out February, March, April.
It wasn't a long time in between.
It was March or April. I mean, I got introduced to the game at Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional in May. Yeah. That's when I got cards. So, and then I bought my first box at E3 2004 from a vendor that was set up in Kensha Hall that was selling all the card games. So, yeah.
God, Kensha Hall.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So.
And they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. And that was an awesome part of E3. But
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. So I mean. So don't worry when you get going, Scott. I mean, there is a smaller pool to wait around in. It's not like Versus where it's going to dump you in and.
Or you could play against friends.
Yeah.
Which would also be a good stepping stone. All right. So, what else have you been playing?
Went back to playing a lot of Gears 3 on Xbox 360. I got a group that still plays Horde pretty much nonstop, and we've been playing Horde. We try to go on Insane, but most of the group they like to stick on Hardcore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Still playing Gears of War 3.
All right.
Played more Borderlands 2.
Okay.
I dinged OP8 a couple weeks ago, so I've been helping out some lobies.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to get on whenever you're on and level up my characters. Want to hit the max level before the pre-sequel comes out.
Well, you have a little bit of time.
Yeah, a couple months. Yeah,
And
but I also need to be looking for a job at the same time. So
priorities.
gotta split my time here.
Played the last Headhunter DLC, and it was, more Borderlands.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
had.
have all the headhunters now. I mean, I bought
Yeah.
the middle three when they were on sale, and then I just went ahead. I had money left over, and I went ahead and bought the last one. So I've not played any of the five headhunters, but I do have all five.
They're fun,
Yeah.
but getting them on sale is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
I got four of them on sale.
It's still better than buying them all day one like me,
That's yeah.
or using my Bing rewards.
Yeah.
I think it was like the
Kind of
new
big.
one is the son of Clormax. I'm probably
Chromorax.
thank you.
Yeah.
I know I butchered that.
That's
Um,
all right. It was close enough.
they just the Vault Hunters decide to go on vacation because they need one, and Sir
Yeah.
Hamlock gets captured by I think the raid boss from the General Knox DLC from the first game.
Oh. Okay.
Or his son,
Yeah,
rather.
This.
correct, the son of the
Okay.
raid boss from the Borderlands one.
Hmm. Okay.
And it was fun for about an hour because that's about as long as it lasts.
Yeah. Yeah. They're usually pretty quick.
Yep. Crazy Earl makes a 2-second cameo, so that was fun.
Nice. Uh.
And it's
Yeah.
more Borderlands.
Oh yeah.
Which
Yeah. I've been playing some more Borderlands too myself. I've been playing with my cousin, Wandering Storms, and we finally beat the main campaign for the first time on his account. So bravo, we done killed Jack again
Mhm.
under his for his achievements, and then we started up the first DLC from the season pass, Scarlet's DLC. And we've got ourselves just outside of Oasis, so now we don't have to deal with Shade directly anymore.
Hooray.
Yep. Because, wow. Worst character they'd have put in that game in a while.
He's your new BFF, though.
Yeah. And I don't want him anywhere near me. Because he's creepy and crazy.
I wouldn't pick him up at the airport.
No, definitely not. Alright, yeah, that's kind of all I've been doing in Borderlands 2. So, what else you been playing?
More Pokemon X. Can't go
Ooh,
wrong with that. Uh,
yeah, no?
Played a little bit of Mario Kart at my Street Pass Princeton meetup today, and I lost in the tournament. I think I placed uh, like seventh. I was doing terrible. I haven't played it in months. That's what
Yeah.
happens.
It did okay then, though.
It was a free tournament, so that was okay.
For not having played it in a while, you did okay.
And then I went completely retro. I turned on my Wii since the Wi-Fi connectors turned it down, so I figured I would update anything that had an update. So I downloaded all the WarioWare do-it-yourself micro games. They had like some developers would pop up and they would make their little second game, and you have to go on to the Wi-Fi Connect, select the game you want, wait for a little bit, then drag it over to the shelf, and then rinse repeat. You couldn't just say, "Give me all 30 of them and put them on." So
Uh,
that took about like 45 minutes. Um,
okay.
then I noticed that I had like 600 points. I'm like, what can I possibly buy with 600 points? Saw Bubble Bobble Plus, love Bubble Bobble, decided to buy it, turned it on, saw the new art style, and the 8-bit elitist in me could not get past it. So I went back and played regular Bubble Bobble, which is always, bubble fun. Um, played Toe Jam and Earl, the old Sega Genesis game. Um, you're two aliens stranded on Earth of all places, and your spaceship gets destroyed, and you have to like run around. Well, not really run, but you walk around, try to find the pieces while trying to find the elevator to the next level. I lucked out. I was able to identify the randomizer prize because you get presents. I don't know if you ever played this game.
No.
It's a great co-op game. So you get presents. There could be like super fast running sneakers in there, or there could be rocket skates, or Icarus wings, or like tomatoes to throw at enemies, or there could be the total bomber, which will kill you instantly. or
Jeez.
the randomizer, which will randomize all the presents you identified.
Huh.
So I
Okay.
lucked out that I was able to identify the randomizer and the total bummer.
Oh,
Um,
good.
and after like 3 hours later, I still have it. I still got it, and I was able to beat Toe General
Cool.
by myself. Um, Still on a retro kick, I played some Super Mario World, because you can never go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find my classic controller, so I had to use my Wavebird, and it is uncomfortable with the Wavebird because the run button is the Y, which is on top of the A. So trying to hold the run button and then jump with B was just not working. So I tried not
Wow.
to use run as least as possible.
Jeez. Okay.
It was pretty far in there, so I don't think I beat whatever Koopa Link's castle. I just got frustrated with it.
Hmm.
And then started playing more Super Mario 3 since it just came out on the Virtual Console 3DS and Wii U. I decided to, not buy it again and play it on the Wii. And it's Mario 3 still holds up.
Now, wait, isn't that's not one of the games? Because I thought when if they put a Wii U game. Oh well, wait, never mind. Because you have to have a Wii U. But I think on the Wii U, if it's a game that you already own on the Virtual Console for Wii, I think you only have you pay like $1 and you get it on Wii U. There is like a $1 upgrade, but
yeah, I
there
don't
is
have a Wii
no.
U.
Well, right, but there is no cross buy. We were talking before the show. There's no cross buy between Wii U or 3DS or Wii and 3DS, but there is a. Oh well, okay, you've got this on Wii. Okay, well, pay us $1 and we'll give it to you for Wii U. So not perfect, but something.
Is that
Hmm.
still considered double dipping, or is that like double tipping, like you're just tipping? You're not actually
Yeah, I like
dipping.
that
I don't
term.
know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that is kind of a nice term. It's not a full double dip, but it is kind of a tip.
Oh, God. Anyway, looks like you were playing some Pokemon and Pokemon Rumble.
Yes, Pokemon Rumble is kind of gauntlet-y. I don't know if that's accurate, but we're going with it. Um, you have your random Pokemon. He gets 2 attacks, and he goes and fights other Pokemon. And if you make them dizzy and then faint them, because you don't kill in the Pokemon universe, you faint.
Mm-hmm.
They can then be your friend, and you can use them to continue. You can use them in place, and then do gauntlet things. You go in your little adventure, and you try to befriend more powerful Pokemon.
Okay. And that's all you do in the entire game, or
Pretty much, bosses show up eventually because that's what they do in games, and then you fight them, and then you rinse repeat.
okay?
Which is why you'll probably never see anybody street pass with it.
Okay. Oh, wait, isn't that the one where you're playing as like miniatures or something?
Yes,
That's the oh.
the Wii U version you can get the little figurines that go on, but this one they're
Right.
virtual figurines that are in the game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was the game, but I wasn't 100% sure. Okay. Yeah. Now I remember what this game was.
Yeah, calling it Gauntlet may not have been the best choice, but
Well, I mean that's pretty accurate based on just what you're doing. You're running a gauntlet, essentially.
yeah, I'm not making it sound very fun, but it is.
It's okay. It's okay. It's an interesting concept, if nothing else. All right. So, was there anything else, or was that it?
No, I'm sure I'll figure it. I'm sure I'll figure something else out later, but nope for now.
Okay. Hey, Jay, what have you been playing?
All right, so on the 360, just a couple things. I saw that Scott had played some Magic 2012, so I logged in there and updated, and I actually played the first match of that mode in 2012 where it's 3 against 1. I did the first campaign of that to get that achievement.
Huh. Wonder why it needed an update.
I don't know, probably because I hadn't played 2012 in years, so probably I missed the final update for it or whatever.
Maybe.
or I've
Right.
cleared the cache at some point from all my Borderlands stuff, thinking that was an issue. So that was probably it.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
So I mean, I did that for a bit. Easter Sunday, because I was fooling around with stuff, and there was a half a gig update for the Full House Poker World Series of Poker, so I had that download the night before Easter, and then I logged in there that day, and they were doing some different XP events, and wow, I could jump into the game and play against other humans, something the original Full House Poker couldn't do. And I've not tried it during one of their special events, but it does seem like, hey, you can actually play against other humans in the Full House Poker World Series of Poker. So that is a definite upgrade over the previous version.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
Yeah. I briefly played some Pinball FX2 to test out a couple of the tables I got while they were on sale. I own all the licensed tables now. I own all the Pinball FX1 tables. I don't own it. When I say licensed, I mean the Marvel and the non-soccer ones. I'm not
Wait,
touching.
soccer?
Yes, there's a bunch of your English Premier League tables based off English Premier soccer teams.
Wow. Okay. I have not played that in such a long time. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't touched those, but I own all the other licensed ones. I don't own any of the Zen Classic ones, whatever, but I own like 50 or 40 whatever tables in Pinball FX2. I mean, they had that was part of the sale a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, I got the Marvel ones I didn't own. I got the Star Wars ones I didn't own that hadn't been on sale before. And I got like Miss Explosion Man and maybe like one other.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a sale. All right.
It was the same time as, I don't know how you missed it. I guess you must have went straight to Borderlands. It was the same week that all the Borderlands stuff was on sale. There was like 10 different games or 15 that had stuff on sale that week.
I must have missed it on that panel, I guess.
No.
Yeah, that's good job on the organization, Microsoft, because I didn't even know that was a thing.
All right. So the one game I played the most of in terms of XBLA is Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels.
You have no idea how much I've played that too.
Oh, I know, because
jeez.
well, I mean, you've beaten it.
Yeah, I beat the normal mode campaign, and I started on the expert campaign, and wow! Man, the brokenness in the expert campaign. Good God. There are so many cards that are just absolutely so overpowered in that game now.
So basically, expert mode is real life Yu-Gi-Oh.
Basically, yeah, it's a little closer to what people would actually bring in the real life game. So maybe I don't actually want to get back into playing the real game based on that. I'm just I don't think I ever want to play this broken game anymore.
All right, so
yeah, once I get as many of the achievements as I can, I'm probably done with this game.
I'm at Zexal or whatever, the last of the animes.
Yeah.
I'm the last of the 4 animes on normal. I beat the first 3. I have 2 questions, lore related.
Okay.
Number 1, why the hell isn't Carmilla, the female vampire from the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, somewhere in the GX campaign? She's got to be one of the most memorable villains in that show's history, and she's nowhere to be found.
I've never heard that name before.
You ever watched the show?
I did. I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember?
There was a vampire?
Yes,
really?
There was a female vampire. When she won,
remember.
She would trap the soul of the loser in a little voodoo doll.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Oh my gosh.
Not at all. But to be fair, half the characters in the GX towers didn't ring a bell.
Okay, well, I've watched all of GX, that's released in America, so.
I mean, I watched, like, the first season or 2 or whatever.
No, you didn't watch the full first season, because they're the bad guys, they're after the not God cards.
Okay. I don't remember any of this. I don't remember anything that happens in that series. I really don't, other than there's a guy who walks around with a crocodile strapped to his back, because that's, just insane.
That's
There
like,
was the guy who was obsessed with the crystal beast monsters. There was the guy who was obsessed with the gear, the teacher who was obsessed with the gear
yeah,
machine
well, yeah,
monsters.
that's he's at the
Uh,
beginning, but you've skipped around. Then
yeah,
you got some second season episodes in the beginning of the first season, but you don't
I don't. I have no idea.
you've skipped around a lot. Well, anyway, I mean, I just think because they waste 2 slots on Alexis's brother, and then the entity that was controlling him that have the same deck. So why couldn't we just drop Alexis's brother or drop that entity since they're using the same damn deck and put Carmilla in there? That's what I'm saying. Whatever. Freaking
I don't even remember what the hell you're talking about. Controlling her brother? What?
yes, because he's wearing the stupid mask and
Right? Yeah,
he's
I
whatever.
remember
But
that.
they beat him and the mask comes off. But the mask is its own entity and it runs the
Okay,
same deck.
I don't even remember. Okay, there's so much shit in that series. I don't remember any of it.
All right, number 2. Well, you're probably not going to help me on this either.
All
5Ds.
right.
Does
Yeah.
every female in that game just hate the world?
I don't. I think a lot of them have a problem that they supposedly work through in the manga, but I don't know.
I guess because every single profile of them, other than the little,
Oh yeah, no, they're all angry looking.
yeah,
Yes,
they're
but
just like
that's-
scowls, just like, oh, I hate you.
I think the person who was choosing the portraits was like, let's just make them look tough. We'll make them look angry. That makes them look tough, right? Yeah, sure.
Because
I think that was their thought process, but I don't
other
really
than the
know.
little green-haired boy and girl twins at the end, that's the
Yeah.
main character's friends. Other than that, little girl, they're all just like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they're all very angry in the manga for some specific reasons that they do explain, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I just, I'd never
I never
watched.
watched the anime of that, so
Yeah, I never
couldn't
did.
tell you.
I never did either because motorcycles, and I was like, no.
It's so weird. Why would anyone duel on a motorcycle while racing around a track? That doesn't make sense.
Americans, extreme sports, yeah.
Yes, because making a card game playable on a motorcycle makes total sense. Yes. Bravo, Japan. Bravo.
All right. Well, the last XBLA thing I played was the game that was given away for free. I started Deadlight.
Yeah. Bought that on Steam back when it was like $5 or so.
It's okay so far, but everything I've heard about it says the first chapter's great, the second chapter's horrible, and the third one's okay if you get to the third one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard. It's really weird. I don't know I don't know why.
Yeah. Reading that the main character's diary before you start playing is also kind of weird.
Yeah.
He's kind of a weird dude.
Yeah. Especially once you read all the pages, apparently. I've heard some interesting things.
Yeah.
Like maybe things haven't happened the way you think they did.
All right. So the last 360 game I played, and then not a whole lot of, but a bit of, is Titanfall on 360.
Prepare for Titanfall.
It's been
360.
it's been very good. I mean, we got the answer to our question. It's a lower res version of the Xbox One version that runs just fine, and Microsoft probably delayed it a month to try to push Xbox One sales. So we have our answer. It is not a broken
It's very
game.
possible. Yeah, no, it runs perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
I got my copy on Saturday and played it a lot on Saturday and Sunday, and a little bit today, which I probably shouldn't have. But I needed my fix.
Yeah. So you've already
I
beat
needed my shooter fix.
So I'll have to start playing that some more at some point. Since you have it on 360, I don't know who else has it on 360.
I don't know. No, I think some of Kensei's friends did, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I beat the both of the campaigns.
But it is not a game. I think now it is not it is not the reason to buy an Xbox One, because the 360
Probably not.
the 360 version is more than adequate, and the PC version, if you're so inclined, is fine. But I forever hate PC gaming.
I would definitely recommend the PC version, if only for the fact that you don't have to buy a brand new console to play the game.
Yeah.
And also, every time I get into my Titan on the 360 version, the graphics of the entryway. Oh, it's like mud all over the side of the screens.
Oh.
It's so bad. It's one of the only things that highlights how bad the textures are for like 5 seconds when you're entering your Titan.
Okay.
It's so bad. I don't know why. It's also really weird that you can't install the full disk to the hard drive. But apparently it's running off... It's trying to stream a lot of the textures, I think, from the disk or something.
Well, you have to have a hard drive to play it, or it won't play. But it doesn't... There's no install file, though.
There technically is, because it does install something to the hard drive. But when you first boot it up. It says it's like optimizing your HD content.
Well, right, but it doesn't show up in the hard drive as...
It's installing something.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what.
It's not like Grand Theft Auto or Battlefield, though, where you can see it. Is what I'm saying.
I guess not.
Because trust me, there's a lot of people that can't play Titanfall because they don't have hard drives.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, it says it literally says on the front of the box with the little tiny square, hard drive required.
Yeah, it needs bigger. It needs bigger ones.
Yeah. Because you can't do it with 4 gigs.
Right. I got 4 gig. It's not a hard drive, no.
That's not enough to do anything. Yeah. That's enough for saves for some games, but that's not enough for everything.
Yeah. Fail.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on to Vita, most of this was done on the airplane going to and from PAX East, but I played some Final Fantasy X because 10.2 wasn't downloaded yet, because remember on Vita, that's a download, and 2, I had to play 10.2 with the strategy guide to be able to get 100% in one playthrough. So 10 I can play on the plane. I played that on the way there. I can play that, the beginning is very linear. And even if you miss something, once you get the airship, you can go back. So,
yeah.
All right. So then, I also played a little bit of MLB The Show 14 because I haven't really played baseball since MLB The Show 10. I mean, I fiddled around a little bit with 13, but with the pulse pitching and this and that, I got 14. Find out you can go to classic meter pitching, get rid of the pulse stuff. I sort of figured out the guest pitch stuff, although I don't like the fact, unless there's something I'm missing, to get an indicator for it unless there's something I need to change. I only got an indicator that I guessed correctly if I guessed pitch and location. Whereas before in MLB The Show 10, if you guessed the right pitch, you would get a response. If you guessed the right location but not pitch, you would get a response. And then if you got both, you get a bigger response. So I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check that out because I've already sold my Vita version on Amazon and my PS4 version paid off, waiting for it to come out, which we'll get into in a bit. And then I played some Dive Kick on the way back.
Good old Dive Kick.
Yeah, I was playing some of the campaigns. I played through Dr. Scholl's again, even though I think I already did it once, but that was on PS3, so I was trying to work towards the achievement for beating it with everybody, so I beat it with Dr. Scholl's, Dive and Kick, and Mr. N. That was all I got through while in the air.
Okay.
Moving to PS3, played a little bit of Final Fantasy X-2. And then the main thing I played on PS3 was the 3rd episode of Wolf Among Us.
I still need to play that.
Yeah,
I'll probably play it after I get the episode up.
It is really cool, and there are several different ways it can go. Because right after you have this beginning scene that just like ends up just being just like, oh my gosh. And then after that, you have a choice of 3 places to go, and the order in which you do them, that changes how things, go. So yeah, I mean, that was really cool.
Interesting.
And then you get introduced to a new character right at the very end, a new fable right at the very end. It's a pretty cool character.
Okay. All right, now I'm definitely hyped to get back into that.
Yeah. So Wolf Among Us still my, between that and Walking Dead, which we're due for a Walking Dead episode here in the next couple of weeks, but I'm still liking the Wolf Among Us better than season 2 of Walking Dead. Not to say either one of them are bad, but I would be like, hey, keep going with Wolf Among Us here.
Well, the thing is, it's a new IP for them to be working with, so there's a little more freedom for them to go in different directions, as opposed to Walking Dead, because we've already got certain characters already established, and we have to fit them into the framework of the new story. And, sometimes that doesn't always work, So,
all right.
They're kind of walking a fine line.
Yeah. All right, so moving to PS4, I beat Infamous Second Son.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that game is, I mean, that's a great game, but, it's a little bit short, and which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's definitely the shortest of the 3 Infamous games by far. The thing is, there's just there's no incentive to keep that game longer than one play. I mean, unless you want to platinum it, and I'm not interested. I just going the evil way. I just can't do it. So, I mean,
I don't know why they forced you to play it the second time if you wanted to do evil.
Well, I mean, it's the good way to get a platinum. A lot of people.
I mean, yeah, but that seems just a little unfair, especially if that's not how you see the character going. Well, if that's not how you see the character's personality, you shouldn't be forced to have to play through it just to get the platinum trophy.
Well, it's whatever. I've never gotten a platinum in Infamous. I've just gone good all 3 times. So, the thing of it is, though, much like South Park, there's no incentive not to trade this game in if you can get a decent value for it, because, that stupid paper thing, they just got the 6th episode of it out, and I think all you get when you beat it is like a paper hat.
Seriously?
Yeah.
A hat?
Yeah, I mean, somebody posted it in the Podcast Beyond thing, and the way it worked, I mean, I told you the first time I couldn't even log into the site. Well, after I beat it, I was able to log into the site and link accounts and everything, and I was able to get through the first mission, but then once you collect evidence from the first mission, you have to go through it, and then at the end you have to put in some code on the cell phone you found to unlock the location of the second mission. And you have to dig through this dead person's wallet, and when I click on the wallet, it brought up all kinds of, page not found errors. So I was like, forget this. So their grand plan for this, we'll have this paper trail thing, and it links, between PC and PS4. And if I try it twice and there's some significant issue with it not working that doesn't allow me to progress in it, that equals, GameStop, you're going to give me $42.70 for this since I'm trading it in within a month? Here you go.
Yeah. Well, I guess you got your buddy's worth out of that.
Yep. And then I played a game. There's been all kinds of giveaways going on and different things with NBA 2K14. There was a code a mystery code you could put in to get you either a ton of virtual VC coins, to do whatever with in any of the modes, or you get a souped up player for the My Team mode, or you hit a whammy and get 100 VC, which is what I got.
Why is it a whammy though?
Well, 100 VC, that's nothing. That's less.
Oh.
That's about 1/8 of what I earn playing a game on normal.
Okay then.
When people are getting 20,000.
Yeah, that seems like they gypped you on that one.
Yeah, because it's random. You know,
Yeah,
ran-
oh yeah.
random stuff. But
Random.
I,
Right.
I did play a game, and I hope I've not run into some insane bug. But the game I played, and this is after it had to update all the NBA Today stuff since I haven't played in so long. But once I got into the game, for whatever reason, the coach would not substitute. My entire starting five played the whole game. He never substituted, which is a
Okay.
huge bug. So I've yet to
Huh.
play a second game since then, so I hope I've not run into some insane bug.
Yeah. Weird.
All right, and the last thing I played here, bit of an update. I played about an hour's worth of NES Remix 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I downloaded that last night and played some of that this morning. That one is much better than the first one.
Yes, that's kind of what I've seen from the videos of it I've looked at.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot more games than you know of, although I am avoiding Wario's Woods like the plague. Because that guy.
As you should.
I like that game.
Wow. That game just looks like it plays terribly.
I like that game. I have it.
Okay, well, how do you play it then? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
It's a match 4 thing.
And
Right,
you're
yeah,
like Toad.
that's about all I
you run
know.
around the bottom, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't
but
played
that's
it in
kind of all
years.
I know about it.
You have to gather up monsters of the same color, either 4 in a row, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, and put them with the same color bombs for them to blow up. So basically Dr. Mario, except you're Toad, picking monsters up and stacking them on top of bombs instead of dropping pills on top of viruses.
Okay, that just sounds weird, but all right.
Yeah. Scott, I mean, that's layman's terms, that's pretty much what it is.
Yes.
All I did was the first day where I don't even know if I completed the first day because it's like, watch the demo, okay. And it's trying to get you to do 2 simple moves in it, and I couldn't do the 2 simple moves, so I just started doing other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, from my experience of watching those videos, yeah, a lot of people do not like that game, and it does not make a lot of sense.
Yeah. But I have not tried it yet, but because if you own both of them, it unlocks a remix of the 1990 Nintendo World Championships.
It was a remix version of it?
Well,
Okay, from the video I watched, I thought it was just the actual competition thing.
No, because the actual 1990 Nintendo World Championship was Mario Brothers 1, followed by Rad Racer, followed by Tetris.
Oh.
Whereas this is Mario 1, Mario 3, and Dr. Mario.
Oh, weird. All right.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have a racing game to replace Rad Racer, so they just threw another Mario in there. And the Dr. Mario is essentially a pretty good...
Couldn't they have used Excite Bike?
Yeah, they could have, yeah.
Well, that was in the first... Well...
They still could have put it in.
Yeah, but I think if you go for a Mario theme there, Mario 1, Mario 3, Dr. Mario, so...
Yeah. I guess. All right.
But it is a reason to own both of them.
Yeah.
Because you can't play that mode without it. I've not touched Super Luigi Brothers yet.
Well, if you realize what that actually is,
Yeah.
it's literally just a mirror version of Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, Mario 1. Yeah, I know what it is. I just have had, like I said, I played it for about an hour doing, all the core game stuff.
And it's got slightly wonkier jump mechanics because, Luigi's got weird jumping abilities. Aha!
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that to Luigi. I really don't.
But
it's been his standard, right? Since Mario 2 US?
Since Mario 2
Yeah,
US.
but I don't know why they decided, this is the best way to make Luigi different. Okay, fine, I guess. It's just weird. I don't know.
So if the championship mode remix thing doesn't interest you and you are like, well, I'm only going to buy one of these and I don't care about the championship remix, then you get the second one.
Yeah, okay. I mean, because it's got Kirby. It's got Pit from Kid Icarus. It's got Metroid.
I've never played
It's got
Kirby.
Punch-Out. Really?
What?
I've never played a Kirby game.
You need to play that Kirby game. That's a decent Kirby game. I can't say it's the best because there are some better ones for the Game Boy Advance, and I think there was a 1 or 2 for the DS.
I'm dreading that remix level or whatever it was that Brad Shoemaker got stuck on, where he's having
That was an easy one. It was super easy. He just wasn't doing it right. He wasn't actually using the parasol to float down. He was actually trying to float down by puffing himself up.
Okay, well, how do you use the parasol?
You just jump. It literally just auto deploys. That he was doing it a couple times when he was jumping, but accidentally inhaled air to float instead. Trust me, it works much easier that way.
Okay. I mean, the cool thing that he didn't notice and that I did is if you fail, once you complete a level, either by, well, no, I guess you have to complete it all the way to be able to see the videos, right?
What videos?
On the, see, he never showed this on the Miiverse. If you post I think you have to beat the level to be able to see the Miiverse post people make. And if you make a Miiverse post of the level, it also attaches the video clip. So if you barely get through a level and you're like, well, how in the world do I do better at it? Just keep flicking the right stick until you see the shortest time, and then you hit the little play button and it plays the video.
Okay. All right.
So
Didn't know that.
So you can watch whoever has the fastest time.
What was it? Scott?
I said that's neat.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's something I didn't notice. Of course, I was playing while sick the first one, and it's just something I noticed on the second one. Like, oh, okay. I kind of wish, though. I think if you fail, though, you can't watch those yet. I think you have to actually beat it before you're able to watch them.
I think you're right, because I don't think I saw any of the Miiverse post things on the side until each of the levels was beaten.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you're only going to get one of those, even though there's a benefit for getting two, definitely get the second one.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And that's all I've been playing.
Oh, well. All right, then. Let's see. What was on my list? All right.
Anything else with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Titanfall that you want to mention?
Not really with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I'm sort of at an angry point with Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point. Just because it's getting worse and worse now.
Well, now you have to work on the online achievements.
Yeah. But I also really want to finish this stupid extreme difficulty and get done with it forever. Do you actually know if you get cards for beating the online mode this time?
I've not played an online match yet, so...
Okay. I was curious to see if they finally decided, all right, fine, you can get some cards for playing online too.
I cannot answer that yet.
Right, all right. I'll try that, I guess, for next episode. Titanfall, not really much else to say about Titanfall other than it's awesome. I don't parkour as much as I should right now, but I'm getting a little better. Yeah, that's about it for that. Talked about Borderlands 2. There's not really much else to say about that. All right, so we'll move on to me finishing up Pokemon Y on the 3DS.
Yay.
Elite Four defeated, champion defeated, got on that weird train and went on to wherever the hell it took me. And then I stopped. And I haven't played it for a few days. So I have no idea where I am right now when that train dropped me off. I have no idea what benefit that gives me to be in that new area. Do you know what it does for me, Scott?
Oh, that's
no?
where the IV checker is, or is it EV? No, IV checker. The Battle Chateau is where you can get much where like the Battle Subway was from last gen. It's now Battle Chateau, and then you can get some of the rest of the TMs that you're missing that you have to buy with the battle points.
All right. Well, at least I get some of the moves that I've been looking for. All right. So I look forward to that at least, and then I'll probably move on to Picross E4 if it ever goddamn comes out, Nintendo. What the hell, Nintendo? Come on. It was almost... You said it was coming out in April. Where is it?
How long did it take them to release Mario 3, so... Give them
I
some
don't
time.
know. It still should have been out because they said, all right, yes, it'll be out in sometime in April. Well, it's almost the end of April, guys. Come on. Straight up lie to me. Jeez. Anyway, last new game that I was playing was a PC game called Marvel Heroes, the free-to-play Diablo clone. I literally told you everything there is to know about this game.
Yeah, but rest in peace, Ultimate Alliance. Why can't this be on a console as a new Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
I don't know. Because it's free to play and they really, really want you to buy stuff with your own money. I don't know. I haven't had to buy anything yet, and I've been getting some decent gear. And I haven't really had a ton of trouble with it.
Yeah,
so
but you're not able to get any of the top characters.
No, you can buy everything in that game with the something that drops they recently put in called Eternity Splinters. Occasionally you'll get random login gifts for specific events that they have going on as well. And sometimes those will give you random Eternity Splinters. Those are specifically used for buying characters, character costumes for your character, stuff like that, basically.
Okay.
It's okay. I haven't had any problems with it so far.
Will it work with the controller?
I don't know. I would have to go in and look. But so far I've just been playing it with my keyboard. It works exactly like Diablo on PC, so it runs just fine with the keyboard.
Don't like keyboard. Want controller.
I know you don't. Also, it'll take you like years to download on your connection if you tried. It's that ridiculously big and slow.
How big?
I wasn't really calculating it, but it was probably somewhere near 9 or so gigs, maybe a little more than that. And that was just for the installer to finish downloading it. Then it had to install, and that took a while too.
I hate PC.
Yeah, I know you do, but you'll love Hearthstone if you download it, according to everything I've seen.
Well, yeah, when the show's over, I have a 1.33 gigabyte file that's waiting for me to hit start.
Yeah, I know. Well, the problem is your internet is really bad, and we really need to get you some better internet.
I know.
And that's kind of the one problem right now. That's your giant bottleneck for downloading PC stuff. And kind of anything, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I started playing with Captain America. Out of the multitude of characters you could choose at the start, there was Captain America, Black Panther, Storm, the Torch, the Human Torch. Who else was there? There was Punisher.
Yeah, that's pretty much who I would pick. I think Captain America and Wolverine were my two go-to people in Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So
Hawkeye was another one.
Yeah. Cap works.
I want to say there was like 8 characters, but I don't remember the last 2.
Spider-Man?
No, he's a paid one.
No, he's a locked character.
So's Iron Man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Captain America is still not a locked character given...
Well, they have to give you somebody who's big and up front from the Avengers.
Yeah.
Because the storyline follows a group of Avengers consisting of Captain America, I think Cyclops, Storm, Spider-Man, Wolverine.
Okay.
And one other character I can't remember.
Was it Miss Marvel?
No.
I played it last year at PAX.
No. It's so far it hasn't been a terrible story. It's Doctor Doom is up to no good, and nobody seems to realize what he's doing yet. So I'm guessing he's going to be the final bad guy that we got to go deal with. Right now I'm dealing with the Purifiers trying to kill a bunch of mutants. I'm actually in like chapter 6 or 7 out of like 9 or 10, something like that. So I'm pretty close to the end. Because I've just been playing a lot of it. Yeah, I'm kind of over leveled for my area that I'm in, mostly because I've gotten so many buff potions that give me bonus XP here and there from all the events that they've been running so far. But yeah, so far I've had a lot of fun with it. But I don't know that I'm going to want to continue playing it when I finish the story. Just, I don't feel any real draw to go back into it other than finishing the story at the moment. So we'll see what happens when I complete the story mode. But yeah, I think that's all the stuff that I've been playing. Yep, that's it. So let's go on. What do you want to do first? NPDs
Yeah,
or
let's do the NPDs for March.
Okay, let's hit the numbers for sales from March.
Now it's that time of the month that causes gamers worldwide to be crabby and irrational. No, it's not PMS. It's NPD.
All right, lay those numbers on me.
Okay, well, given that, Titanfall was out exclusively Xbox One and PC for the month of March versus Infamous, which system do you think would have sold the most in March?
Well, let's see. There was actually some accidental sales for Xbox One, so I think Xbox One.
Yeah, I mean, logic would dictate that's the biggest title for Xbox One. It had more hype behind it than Infamous did. So, of course, the PS4 was the number one selling console for the month of March, flipping all the expectations over.
It is cheaper.
Yep.
So,
Xbox One sold 311,000 units. PS4 sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 360 to 400,000. So it is the number one system for the month of March, surprising everyone who just, it was just kind of a general assumption it was going to be Xbox One, but it was not. 3DS was actually of the old stuff, of the older systems. 3DS was the best one performing of those. It sold 159,000. Although,
I mean, there's a ton of good games for 3DS now.
Right. That number is down 31% from last year, though. The 360 still sold 111,000 units. The Wii U did see a slight uptick. It sold 70,000 in March, which is about 4.5% increase. The regular Wii still sold 28,000 units.
Jeez.
And the Vita dropped 70% and sold 10,000 units.
Well, I mean, if Sony doesn't market it, it's kind of hard to get some sales
the
for it.
PSP still sold 5,000 units. New.
That's just nuts.
At retail.
Okay.
Alright, so, but in games, Titanfall was the number one game.
Of course.
Followed by Infamous Second Son. It sold at least 1 million, if not a little more copies. Actually, also, I think Infamous is number one. I don't know if it's number one selling PS4 game or not. I know it sold 1 million in 9 days. Titanfall is the number 2 selling Xbox One game already.
Well, that's not surprising because there's not that many games out for that system.
Well, either system at retail. I mean, PS4 has more games available, but the vast majority of them are download, and in the Midwest, if it's not on a disc, it doesn't exist. So
I know. Yeah.
Third was South Park.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very good for Ubisoft and the South Park people. They deserve that. Fourth was Call of Duty Ghosts.
I still don't understand that.
And here's the hilarious thing. So, I mean, Ghosts was number 1 on 360, but the PS4 and PS3 versions both sold more than the Xbox One version.
No, that makes sense, actually. That does make sense.
Well, considering that Xbox has the DLC exclusivity.
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, 360 it being number 1's fine, but PS3 selling more than Xbox One.
Yeah, no, that does make sense because there's more PS3s out than Xbox Ones or PS4s. A lot more.
It's just, well, then PS3 should be outselling the PS4 version, but it's not.
Well, I didn't say that made sense totally.
Okay, only for Xbox. Okay. Fifth was Dark Souls 2. Sixth was Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which sold 278,000 units, 204,000 of which were next gen, or new gen, I should say.
Oh, that's a shame.
Seventh was NBA 2K14. Eighth was the Final Fantasy X Tendu HD, sold 208,000 units on PS3. Unknown how many Vita units. Ninth.
Well, also you could download the game, so we'll never really know how many people bought it.
Well, you can say that for everything on this list. This only covers retail.
Yeah.
So number 9 was the Lego Movie game, which is kind of interesting because there are literally now 3 Lego Movie games at retail, which is like, in terms of the disc content for the new systems, is like 10%. You have 3 Lego games. You have Marvel Superheroes, Lego Movie, and Lego Hobbit. Lego Hobbit wasn't out by this time, but
when you said 3 Lego movie games, I was like, wait, what?
I didn't mean 3. Sorry, 3 Lego games.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're not selling on Xbox One and PS4, at least last month.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they were 360, PS3, 3DS. The Wii U versions outsold Xbox One and PS4.
That's true. Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Wii U is a cheaper system if you want to get it if you want to get it on a new system.
And number 10 was Minecraft on 360.
Sure. Why not? Just hanging in there.
Yeah, continuing its dominance. So.
Well, I wouldn't say dominance. It's continuing its sales in the top 10.
Well, I mean, it sold 12. I forget how. It's like 12 million units, and like at least half or more of that is since the disc version came out. So.
Right. Yeah. In total, sure. Yes.
But I mean, that disc is just selling insanely well.
But I'm super happy about the news that the Xbox 360 saves will transfer to Xbox One without any problems.
Yeah.
Super happy about that.
Now we just need the money to buy an Xbox One.
True enough. And then I also need the money to buy the download version of that again. And then I also need the money to make sure I have gold for the rest of the year, because I don't have gold for the rest of the year at the moment.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Well, I'm done. That for NPDs at least. That's.
All right. Well, do you want to do the coming soon for May?
Yeah.
All right. So, what games are coming out in May?
All right. Well, kind of slim pickings, but there's a few noteworthy things. Starting on the consoles, the big one for next week, May 6th, is MLB The Show 14 for PS4.
Okay.
There's a couple other things. The Hikoki Stories of the Shinsengumi was delayed and is supposed to be coming out May 6th, I guess. Don't know.
All right.
And then a Majesco published medieval RPG called Bound by Flame is coming out for PS3, 360, and PS4 on Friday the 9th.
That's a Friday release, really?
Well, I guess worldwide, so it can be Europe at the same time.
I guess. That's weird. You don't see many Friday releases.
You see them from Sony now because...
Because why?
So it can be worldwide at the same time.
Okay.
And plus sometimes, and this is an independently developed game by Spider Studio.
Okay.
Like I said, it's published by Majesco, who I guess is out of bankruptcy and is all about publishing again because they've got the Midnight City, putting all the indie games on console, all the indie PC games on console, and then now Majesco proper is funding this. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Majesco is such a weird company, but I mean they're still doing business and they're still above. They have their heads above water when it comes to the finances. So I guess they're doing something right.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, it looks interesting. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's the first RPG on these consoles, or at least on PS4.
Yeah.
It's the first RPG for a while on PS3 and 360. It's not like they've had a lot either. So.
That's true.
Well, PS3 has had JRPGs, so I should say Western RPG.
Right, yeah. There have been other RPGs. Most of them have been downloadable, though.
Recently? On the consoles?
I mean, kind of, but not really. Not on both consoles, no.
Yeah, everything's been JRPGs on PS3.
Yeah.
Alright, well, the second week of May, the only thing coming out on the 16th is... And here you go again, the worldwide release of Minecraft for PS3 as a physical disc on Friday the 16th.
Sweet. Well, we'll see how many sales it gets on PS3 for disc.
Yeah. Moving to May 20th, you have Wolfenstein: The New Order, and then a couple of JRPGs on PS3. Wolfenstein's on everything, but Wii U. I mean, it's PS4.
Well, I mean, it's a game that can't handle the Wii U.
Right.
Wii U can't handle that.
And then 2 JRPGs, Drakengard 3 and Mugen Soul Z are on PS3.
Okay.
And then, realistically, the 2 biggest releases of the month are out on the week of the 27th. 27th proper, the day after Memorial Day, is Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
And then Friday the 30th is Mario Kart 8 for Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
And Putty Squad is out on PS3 as well on the 27th, but who cares?
I've seen that game. Don't ever buy that game.
All right.
I've seen what that game is. You don't want that game.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on to the first week of May, we're actually, again, Friday, May 2nd. I guess Nintendo is starting the Friday release thing as well for it to be worldwide with Europe. They're not doing the Sunday thing anymore because the first time they did, we just thought, well, they're wanting to, this or that, they're avoiding this or that or whatever. But now, I mean, it looks like it's Friday for Nintendo releases as well because Friday, May 2nd, and why these are both coming out the same day, I have no idea. But Mario Golf World Tour and Kirby Triple Deluxe for 3DS both come out on Friday the 2nd.
What exactly is in Kirby Triple Deluxe?
I have no idea.
Huh.
You would ask me that.
All right. Well, I like Kirby. Kirby's cool.
Kirby Triple Deluxe. This is a brand new game.
Right.
Okay, it's all new game. It's not a compilation. I thought you were asking like what?
Huh. I wonder what's.
This is a brand new
what
game.
it is then. Huh. Now I'm gonna have to go look it up. All right.
Join Kirby for an all-new adventure and hail enemies, copy their ability, and unleash the power of the Hypernova in this fun-filled quest for all ages. Okay, it's a brand new game. It is not a compilation pack.
Weird. I wonder why they called it that then.
Because it's the first 3DS game, I guess. Triple.
That's clever.
3D.
Yeah. That's clever. I didn't catch that at first, yeah. All right, yeah.
Then Tuesday, May 6th is the God of War collection on Vita. It is also the release of the new Slimline Vita system packaged with Borderlands 2. But if you already own a Vita, Borderlands 2 comes out by itself on May 13th. Beware, though, that even though there's a big thing on the box that says comes with 6 add-ons, in terms of the DLC campaigns, it only has Captain Scarlet and Mr. Torque.
Explosions?
Explosions, but no monsters and no Tiny Tina dungeons, bunkers and badasses for Vita though, unless it's going to be a separate download. The other stuff it comes with is the first Vault Hunter pack, the 2 extra characters, and the collector's edition crap weapons.
Well, no, they're not. They're crap. It's just you kind of want them when you first start. If you're starting a brand new character,
Yeah, stuff that you get rid of.
because those are better. Those are better than anything you'll get for at least a couple drops.
Yeah. All right, so May 20th has absolutely nothing for either handheld. And by the way, the 2 games in May, the May 2nd, that's it for 3DS. There's nothing else. The 27th does have Sly Cooper Collection for Vita and Mind Zero for Vita, another JRPG. And that's the retail games coming out.
Yeah, it's kind of a short month for game releases.
Yeah, it's that lull before E3, before the explosion of E3.
Yeah. Well, it's some definite big games to look forward to near the end of the month.
Yeah,
though.
there's 3 legit console games, and if Vita's ever gonna pull itself out, a God of War collection, a Sly Cooper collection, a Borderlands 2, packaged in with the new slimmer version that takes a micro USB charger and not crappy Sony proprietary charger.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Plus longer battery life. That's a good thing.
The Vita already has a pretty long battery life. It kicks the butt of a 3DS, let me tell you. It's not even close.
Okay.
Of playtime, if you play constantly between a 3DS and a Vita, the Vita will win.
Okay. How long is it supposed to last?
I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm just telling you from experience. All
right. Well, how bright does your 3DS screen normally stay? Do you have it all the way at the highest brightness level?
Where's the brightness setting on it?
Aha! See, now we know why it doesn't last that long. There's a setting. It's right on the main menu. It lets you change the brightness level.
Yeah, upper left-hand corner, that little sun thing. You tap that, and then you can switch it or turn off power saving mode.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how you reduce the amount of strain it takes on the battery by reducing the brightness of that thing, because it's so ridiculously bright when you turn it on for the very first time.
I generally like things brighter, though, so...
Yeah, but trust me. Change it once or twice and see how it works for you. You'll probably only need it on, level 4 at the highest. Hell, I have it on, level 3.
Okay, well... I think it's time for us to wrap this up, because I need to open up these windows more so that I can get some air in here, because it's getting rather hot.
Yeah, no, you ain't kidding. Up here in Jersey, it's getting hot too. Especially in my room.
So...
Because, sun all day long, from sun up to sundown, my room gets hit by sun. And, it gets hot in here.
All right, well, I wanted to thank Scott for joining us for this episode to help us go through our PAX experiences.
Thanks for having me.
It was a lot of fun. Although, we do have to get you to talk more.
I'm trying.
I know you're trying. We got you to talk a little bit more at the end, so that was good. But, all right. So, I guess that's gonna do it. Don't forget to subscribe to the show through iTunes or the Microsoft Music Store, I want to say was what it's called now.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's
Xbox
called now.
Music.
Yeah. Or you can get the RSS feed off the Facebook page at Facebook.
Facebook.com/CheckmateArcade.
Okay, yeah. I think that was what I set it up as, yeah.
Yes. You can also follow. You can Twitter at CheckmateArcade. My phone can check both that account and my personal one at MSU Hitman. So if you send a tweet at CheckmateArcade, I will try to respond.
And if you want to hit me up on Twitter, I'm at DarkBossMan. And where can we find Scott?
At Scott. On Twitter?
That's AH Scott. Okay.
There's only one H there, boss.
Yeah, I know. AH.
Not Scott.
It's more fun to say because I'm vibrating all over the place.
Okay, that's
It's more fun. Come on.
no, you were borderline getting to what's the stupid Jim Carrey movie with Lauren Holly and Jeff Daniels in it?
Oh, Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, yes.
Oh,
You were getting awfully close to that scene there. So,
okay. Well, I've never watched that movie, and I don't think I ever will.
do you want to know?
Anyway.
Do you want to know what the most annoying sound in the world is? Just Google.
No.
Just Google that scene on YouTube, and you'll see.
No, I think I'm good. I don't think I need to know. And I will spare everyone who's listening to the show that, so I won't link to that. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. I have been kicking back with my feet up inside my mech, waiting for the next match to start. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
And maybe, just maybe, I'll actually finally be able to install Hearthstone on a PC. I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley.
You'll be able to do it. It'll just, take a while.
Yeah. Well, I got logged in. That only took half hour today.
If you had accessed your account at any point more recently than, how long ago was it?
Just
I
put it
don't
fresh-
know. Whenever I registered for a Battle.net account when I played Diablo 3 on PS3. So last fall. There you go.
So almost a year ago. All right, yeah.
6-8 months.
Okay. Close enough. But at least that kind of explains it a little bit. Maybe. Oh. Yes, you've been having some troubles with your PC, I know.
It's not trouble. It's just PC stuff in general. It's not.
Yes, I know.
It's
That's
not
what
a
I'm talking
malfunctioning PC. It's just.
Yeah, I'm saying in general, just the programs decide not to work properly for you every time.
Yes.
It's weird, because I never seem to have that kind of problem. It's always the hardware with me. But I digress. So maybe we'll see you on live PSN, or maybe even on the net.
Peace out, everybody.